that's been written ever, all laws, most case law, a year ago, you remember your boss was, there's lots of laws that need to be in.
How has AI affected the field of employment law in relations to layoffs and others?
AI is the hot topic right now. Everyone's talking AI. 2 years ago, nobody was talking about AI. Now AI has become you can't go to a cocktail party and spend 45 minutes without hearing multiple things about, oh, which AI are you using? It's good, it's bad, it's powerful, it needs to be controlled, respected, utilized. So a couple things. With respect to employment in my firm, I tell all of my employees, all of my attorneys, it is malpractice not to use artificial intelligence. It is malpractice. But wait a minute, not to confirm what it says, not to check what it says, to double check. Let it get what it says, hear its arguments, but then go to Westlaw, to Lexis, look up those cases, see if they actually say what it purports to say. There have been lawyers who have been sanctioned, punished, made to pay money because the cases that they put in briefs that they actually filed with the court were filled with hallucinations. Cases that were completely made up, stood for propositions that don't even exist, and they have gotten in a lot of trouble. But I also tell people, think about it. You've got the intelligence of virtually everything that's been written ever, all laws, most case law out there, and you've got a supreme being, as Jimmy Carr likes to call it, he's a comedian, that is analyzing all of it in milliseconds and then coming and spitting back to you, here's what I found from everything at once. How could you not take advantage of that? And as a result, a lot of people's jobs are unfortunately being replaced. And let me explain how this is happening. So let's say in a big company with admin and analysts, or it doesn't even matter. People who prior to AI had to spend hours and days researching things that a good AI could do very quickly, can do without the need to have people do it. And as a result, you just need less and less people doing things. What we're seeing already, people being laid off because of AI. I'm seeing it in my practice. I mean, as an employment lawyer, we see people getting laid off in real time and we hear the reasons that they're given. But just because you are being laid off because a quote unquote legitimate reason doesn't mean it was legitimate, doesn't mean that it was non-discriminatory. And I'll tell you why. Let's say, oh, look, we need to lay off 20% of our admin force because AI has, made it easier for people to get more done in the same amount of time. And they decide to lay off all of the people over the age of, pick it, 55, 60, all of the older people. That is a discriminatory application of your laying off, of your reduction in force. You can't have that. You can't do that. Just because you have the right to lay off people, you still have to do it in a non-discriminatory manner. So that's an example of how AI is resulting in layoffs, but just know that you still have rights. And it's also a good time to evaluate. Hear me out. You've been laid off and, a year ago, you remember your boss was hitting on you and massaging your shoulders and wouldn't leave you alone, or even tried to kiss you and stuck his tongue in your mouth, whatever it is. The fact is, when you do get laid off, that may be the time to say to yourself, maybe it's time I do something about that. And so I urge people who didn't want to come forward while that they were working for the company, when they do get laid off, they might feel emboldened at that point.
Wow. Thank you, Derek. Well, I think that's a bit of a blackmail.
Absolutely not. Can we talk about that for a second? How is that blackmail?
Because I'm thinking, why did you wait till the last minute when you were told you had to leave, you have to be dismissed or maybe made redundant? And that's when you come up with the fact that, okay, you were sexually harassed.
I see what you're saying. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. I'm talking about after you're fired. after they say they're laying you off, you're done. I'm not saying, give me my job or I'm going to sue for this and the other thing. No, what I'm saying is you were scared to lose your job, so you didn't come forward and complain. Now you have already lost your job, so you have nothing to lose, and you're entitled to sue for everything that just happened to you over those years, but you poor thing never did anything about it. Do you see what I'm
Well,
saying?
yes, I do see what you're saying.
Yes.
Well, the person might be fortunate if he's still within the limitation period.
And very often they could be 3 years. Like I said, the Trafficking Victims Protection Act goes for 10 years. You know, there's lots of laws that need to be investigated to see if you can sue for. But by all means, I agree with you. If this was a case where you weren't going to do anything about it, you didn't want to do anything about it, and then next thing you know, there's thinking about laying you off, and you bring that up in an effort to like save your job, don't fire. Yeah, that's a little blackmail-y. I agree with you. I don't like that.
Thank you so much. So what are your last words of encouragement?
Come forward, but have the strength, the courage to come forward and do something about. Think of what I said earlier. What would you say to your daughter? What would you say to your best friend? And then do what your advice was. Because too often we don't treat ourselves well. And I can promise you, if you don't, years from now, you're going to think, can't believe I didn't do anything about that. Most often, these cases can be resolved privately, confidentially. And if that's not what you're looking for and you want to go forward with actual litigation and fighting and the whole courtroom drama, do it. Absolutely. That's why our court systems are here. That's why our ancestors fought so hard to have those rights. Utilize those rights.
Thank you so much. And that's why we have the Employment Tribunal as well as ACAS in the UK that litigates or mitigates such instances. So thank you so much, Derek, for coming on the show. Be safe and be positive. And don't forget to check out our social media handles. Thank you. Bye for now.